actually loyal to their work, who are actually loyal to the system, who actually look justice as God. They get what law has provided in its books. And it should not be just a book, it should be a delivery system. And we, being the representative, we should deliver it to those people.
Hello and welcome back to the Super Lawyer YouTube channel. We are delighted to welcome Advocate Niyati Sharma today. Ma'am is the co-founder of NS Solicitors and a strategic legal expert with years of high-stake litigation and corporate advisory experience. Specializing in civil, corporate, and employment law, she has represented individuals, companies, and government bodies before the Supreme Court of India and the Delhi High Court. She also represents the Union of India in the Delhi High Court as a Senior Panel Counsel. Her deep understanding of regulatory compliance, contract negotiation, POSH, and policy frameworks has shaped legal landscape and influenced governance. We are absolutely eager to gain insights from her legal journey today. My name is Anshi and I work as an associate with the Super Lawyer team. At Super Lawyer, we aim to showcase the inspiring journeys of legal professionals, offering valuable insights and guidance to motivate the broad legal community and empower our readers as they navigate through their own careers. Thank you for being with us today, ma'am. Now I would request Divya ma'am to please continue with the conversation. Thank you so much.
Today we are here to welcome a very dynamic soul called Advocate Niyati Sharma. She has fascinating view about not only legal fraternity, legal upliftment. There have been so many things that she told while we were having a small meeting earlier, that we have to change the world one step at a time, and that was very, very intriguing for me. Today I hope we are going to take it forward and learn a lot from her, whatever she has experienced till date in her amazing and ever growing practice. Most welcome, Advocate Sharma. I hope you'll enjoy our conversation. I'm Divya Dwivedi. I am the team lead at Super Lawyers, and I'm absolutely humbled today to welcome you and have a conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Divyaji. It's been my pleasure that I've got an opportunity to showcase my experience to everyone, to the world, that how litigation and lawyers are striving day to day and working hard and trying to deliver the justice which is under the carpets at times and needs to be come in front. So I'm humbled that I'm here today with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your gesture. Let's start the session and understand why and how you chose to pursue career in law while you had already completed bachelor's in English from Delhi University.
It's a very interesting question though. I never thought of becoming a lawyer, but I had this idea in my mind that I want to do something which has a larger public interest. It was my father who wanted me to become a lawyer. I was a UPSC aspirant, and I used to say that this time I'm sure that I'll clear UPSC. And he used to say, but you will become a very good lawyer. So it was his inspiration and that journey when I entered into the law. When I did my first internship, it was at Delhi Commission for Women. And I had goosebumps when I went there for the first time. And first week, I could not sleep. I used to say to my mom that I never thought that women are in so bad condition. And what I have seen is a 9-month-old pregnant lady saying that my husband has just pushed me back and he has thrown me out of my house and beaten me so much that I just straight away run here. Another female who was raped by 10 men and she married and he just captured her in her home and she was daily being raped by 10 people. And she said that I've just run out of that place. So that sort of complaints coming from very basic people who never knew what law is, who never knew what resort they have, where they can go and complain. And when I saw that this power a lawyer has, this knowledge a lawyer has, any female lawyer or a male lawyer can deliver this justice or help in taking that path. So this internship changed my outlook. And this was the reason that I decided that I will not go for judiciary, I will not go for UPSC, but I will go for litigation.
Absolutely beautiful story, because usually we see people aspiring to become either UPSC person or they want to go for judiciary, but this is a new perspective after going through such kind of experience at this particular internship. During very early stages of your legal career, what kind of experiences do you see have shaped your thoughts in relation to the kind of practice that you want to take forward? Because you are doing something very unusual. Why? Because your points towards bringing in that social justice in society are very different. And I really would request you to bring in those aspects which were so inspiring for me. And I really don't want to push anything, but I just want to understand how you came to that thought process, because it's not easy for anyone to just give up something so big and plan something to do for the society that easily.
So basically, I had a plain paper when I entered into litigation. No one from my family, no one from my in-laws' family, no background from lawyers or litigants to the nearest or the far more relatives I could see. I have never experienced and never listened to any lawyer, their experience. I just did law and I came as a practitioner. But as soon as I came, I realized that this is the only field which is gender neutral. Gender neutral in sense that the hard work that a male has to do, the same a female has to do. You have to earn your client on your own. You have to work on your own. And suppose I say today that I want to practice in a field of IPR, or I want to practice in a corporate field, but I want to be litigation. That means that I have my own clients. I should have my own clients. But then I am getting divorce cases, I am getting property disputes, depending on the social exposure that I have, or the client base, or the people who know me, that I am now becoming a lawyer. So first and the foremost thing that I realized after becoming a lawyer, that you cannot choose your profession. The profession chooses you. That means the field you can't choose, field will choose you. Otherwise, in various law firms, you can apply for a job in which you are interested in. But becoming a proper advocate, practicing independent litigant, then you have to wait for your client. Then when I say it is a gender neutral process, a client comes to you, client doesn't bother, you are not feeling well, you are married, you have shifted to a new place, you have kids, you have not kids, you are pregnant, you are non-pregnant, doesn't matter. For them, they need the delivery of their work. Doesn't matter you have eaten or not. And same this thing applies to a male. They don't bother if there's some mishap in their family, if they're struggling something, they don't have vehicle to come, whatever the problem male faces, the same problem and even more the female has to face. So I understood that I can't cry like a crybaby. I have to make sure that I have my own setup, I have my own work culture, I have to set my own standards, and I have to start working the way every second person in this profession is working. Every colleague is working with the same passion that I am working with. What different I have to offer to my clients? I should give trust to them. I should be loyal to their work. I should be readily available to them. These are very important points. It is very unfortunate that I'm saying this, but clients come to me with this problem that my lawyer is not picking up the call. And it is very shocking that taking a case means taking the whole life of an individual. So this moral, social obligation that we as a lawyer, and ethics also, we know what our ethics says. But fortunately or unfortunately, whatever other circumstances, I can't comment on that. But these are the 3 to 4 very essential things as a lawyer, irrespective you're a male or a female, you have to face. But when I went to court, I saw that actually the condition, the infrastructure is very poor. I strived in chamber for almost 4 or 5 years. I worked from chamber. And what I realized was there was no basic amenities, no washroom facilities, hygiene, it was very bad. And with respect to females, there is another factor of female regular day-to-day monthly hygiene and basic facilities and amenities. But all of them were lacking. I realized that one of my colleagues, she started practicing with me. She got married. She was blessed with a baby girl. And then she was nowhere to be seen in the court. I asked her why you're not coming. So she said, my baby is too small and coming to the court means that you have to start by 9 in the morning and you don't know you will be reaching by 8 or 9 or 10. The time is not limited and I can't leave her. But there is no facility in court that I would come with the baby in the crèche facility, leave her, do my work, and go back. And this is not about Honorable Supreme Court or Honorable Delhi High Court. The basic infrastructure at a district court level, where most of the females are working and being an independent lawyer, they get the cases. Independent cases, that means they have their own client base. So they have to first start district court only. Nobody will give you direct SLP of Supreme Court. So they have to struggle that, and the gap of maternity time period, their family also says that you can't leave the child. What you are earning, it doesn't make sense, because those 5 years of struggle for first 5 years, it's pretty much hard for every lawyer, be it a male or a female. And when we see that there are females of 20, 25 years, 30 years of age group, from 20 to 30 years, and then you see females from roughly around 40 and above, because that 10 years most of the female are engaged in their household activity. So for that, what I observed, that in order to sustain in this field, every female has to find a way out. First, it is better to establish yourself, and it is very important that as a female you have a better family who understands you after marriage and before marriage, who understands your work and respect it, and help you to cater that 4-5 years they understand your development and growth. So the challenges being a female lawyer is very interesting, and it is very deep, and I enjoy those challenges. And when I see myself that I have actually come out of it, so I feel that it is worth living.
This is such a fresh perspective, although a very old problem, which you are trying to figure out solutions, as well as you are trying to reach this community as well. My next question would be not only this, but how do you see when you are bringing in such kind of topics, which will bring a change in long term, not in a very short term? How do you see all these kind of challenging impacts help you either get better perspective towards law, or help you get clients, or help you do the networking? Because all of these things at the end of the day end up either having a better network which will bring in a long term of change, or have better clients who may or may not bring in that particular change. So how do you see your practice moving towards a specific area of such sorts, which actually points out such important things which are not there, that is basic infrastructure, just to practice? So how do you see yourself in times to come?
See, what future will predict, I don't know. But what I can say is it has made me a better human being in that perspective, because being a lawyer, being from a well-off family, or a family who promotes female to get educated, and also in my next family where I'm married, they also promote females to be educated, to go out and to have work. She is struggling that there are no washrooms in capital of Delhi, in the main courts where almost 5 to 10 lakh people are coming on the daily basis. And again, I'm saying, I'm not talking about Honorable Delhi High Court and Supreme Court. They have very good facilities. But when we come to district court, I can't say what Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana district court are to offer to the lawyers. But when I see there is no crèche facility, no washroom facility, I can feel that what a female who is not empowered, who is not having that support from the family, who are not educated, and now they have to face the daily life problems. Their husband might die, and they might end up in domestic violence dispute with their in-laws, or they have their husband who are not supportive, or the family, they got married and she has to run off, and she might be facing some other issues from the family, or a girl who has taken her step out and she got married, but it doesn't work the way she had thought, and now she wants to explore legal remedies. So since India has so much population, and the population has so much thought process, and every individual is different, I feel that this experience which I had in my past 5-6 years, it not only evolved me as a person, but also gave me a thought process that how much a female or a male or a person in daily basis is struggling every day, going out, earning for the family, and them facing legal issues, what all they have to experience. So when I look down myself for next 5 to 10 years, I see that I have to make sure that those people who are actually loyal to their work, who are actually loyal to the system, who actually look justice as God, they get what law has provided in its books. And it should not be just a book, it should be a delivery system. And we being the representative, we should deliver it to those people. So my journey as a whole started from district court and then high court and then Supreme Court. I would have got golden plate, I would have been started from Supreme Court, and I would have not seen what cross examination is. I could have never seen what evidences are, what are the documents that are needs to be added in the file, what all evidence I need, and what is the written statement that I have to file, or what are the basic ingredients that a plaintiff should have. This is what I have learned from my clients. They have told me that, this document needs to be added because it has this relevance. But when I look into SLP, what I see is down paper trail. Oh, in district court, this paper was not there. Now our case is weak. So a well-learned, educated lawyer should come to the district court. They should practice there, and then they should proceed to Honorable High Court, to Honorable Supreme Court, and this should be the step. But nowadays, the generation is that as soon as they do law, they feel that we are lawyers of suits, and we just have to jump into some lavish kind of practice. We will get something, I don't know what they think of. Actually, they should come to district courts and they should understand what a life of a lawyer and the clients are. How does the court function? Very interestingly, I would say that I was in Rouse Avenue Court. We had one argument in CBI matter, and one of the senior advocates from Maharashtra was appearing. And I was addressing to a reader for some work, and I said, I'll ask from Elmer. So the senior advocate said, who is Elmer? So I said that there is this person who looks into the court day-to-day activity. So he said, but in Maharashtra, we don't call him Elmer. So how does the court practices varies from state to state? Even I would not know. I go to a new place, what a reader is called. And then we go to Ghaziabad court, a reader is called Babu. But being an independent practitioner, I should be aware of all these practices. Even if my clerk would come to me and say that, this much is the cost, I should know that I have gone through all these things. I know how much it will cost. So a lawyer should be the clerk first, then should be a intern, and then should be a litigant. And this is what I have learned through my journey till now.
So you became suits after going through all that journey, but yes, now you're the suits for us women lawyers and women advocates, because that's something which is needed. That's my understanding. Let's move on and understand certain challenges that you may have encountered while you were dealing with sexual harassment complaints or administrative inquiries during your representation of clients or universities per se, especially University of Delhi. How have you strategized that, and how have you overcome those kind of challenges?
So I'm not specifically talking about any university here per se, but we have to understand the importance of POSH Act. Unfortunately, most of the people are not understanding what POSH Act is about and why the POSH Act was born. So in that case, what happens is females are using it first of all and also misusing it. So in every sort of institution, administration, these are first and foremost important thing that we make sure is to understand the genuineness of the case. Secondly, the males are offensive in that case. What they say is, we are also harassing. What I face in most of the training session, what the males' outlook are with respect to POSH Act. We are also being harassed. There are fake females complaint. There are administrative issues with respect to promotions and with respect to work culture, with respect to the hours that they have to work and they do not feel like working. They file a complaint in ICC. So even males are not understanding that where is that line that is being crossed and it becomes a case of POSH Act. Third and the foremost thing is the ICC committee itself. they are not even aware what is the procedure. First of all, they feel they are not even comfortable with the environment that if a complaint has come, how it should be dealt with. Either panic. What I have observed in most of the corporate companies, what they do is without getting into investigation, they suspend the accused or the respondent. And this is a very dangerous situation. Just in order to prevent your name, your company's name, you suspend a person without getting to know the fact what has happened actually, without even investigating. So what important is the awareness. Trainings of POSH is very fundamental and the important aspect that is being ignored by most of the institutions. Until and unless there are complaints which have come, then they will recommend in their final finding that POSH sessions are recommended. But it is not similar to any gender committee. It is not similar to any disciplinary committee. It has its legal sanctity. It has a legal obligation that has to be complied. And the birth of POSH is because of Babri Devi case and Nirbhaya rape case. That is to be understood. It cannot be compared with male harassment or disciplinary committee harassment. It is very different perspective and it evolves around that definition of sexual harassment only. And those points only determine the complaint. So these are the challenges which I have faced while dealing with, specifically with the POSH Act and the complaint before ICC most of the time.
Thank you for sharing those nitty-gritties, as in the awareness is required, not only for POSH Act, I would say many rights that we have, but we are not aware of. And that's something which lawyers are up for it. So on that note, I would now like to ask you about you establishing your law firm at such an early stage. You have made NS Solicitors, and after working for such a short span of time, you have built a name for yourself. What do you see, or what plans do you have as mission and vision for your firm, along with the kind of causes that you are fighting for, or you are bringing in those topics which are absolutely required? So how do you plan to take forward your law firm along with the passion that you have for social causes?
One thing which I as a lawyer feel that while law firm is mandatory for me, all the juniors, all the associated with me, I feel that they should be independent. And their independence is not in association with me. Whenever an associate or an intern come to me, first and the foremost thing I said is you are not here as a permanent member. You have to create your own practice. How I can help you? You have to take my help. You have to go out in public. You have to create your own face. This is how I started. This is how my seniors helped me. And this is how I should help you. This is my obligation that you are being associated with me. And I should make sure that you have your own life ahead. So the concept of law firm for me is that all the associates with me, I am associate and they are also associate. I never call myself a founder. I never call myself a head of the team. If I am working on a case, I make sure one associate with me is working, so we both are equal at this stage. I never named my law firm as Niyati Sharma and Associates because I don't want all of us to be associated with my name. If they, as a lawyer dealing with their client, they have my office, they have their law firm name, and they can have their card print, they can use their file, which have NS Solicitors, and they have their own name on their card, they have their name on their file. They feel independent. They don't need an infrastructure. They don't need money for that. So idea of law firm is only for that. Another reason for law firm is I have different sects of corporate, civil, criminal, and we all have the head of all the sects, and specifically with the IPR. So I had one of my associates. He started his practice from a very early stage, but he was not sure that where he has to go, how he can explore cases, how he can get more cases. So for him specifically, we highlighted few aspects, that where he's coming from, where his family belongs to, what sort of work he is into. So what we used to do is I used to give them Saturday off and they had Sunday off. So on Saturday, they have to go to their gatherings, they have to meet people and then distribute their cards and tell them that I have my office at this place, and if you have any issues with respect to your work, you can let me know. It took him 6 months, and those regular practices like going on weekends, going to some meetings, some family gatherings, social gatherings, what I have seen usually is 9 to 8, an associate is working, no Saturday off, only Sunday off, and it is a packed job. But whenever my associates, touch wood as of now, if they ask for a leave, I make sure they have to inform me before. So we designed their work in such a manner that it took him 6 months and 1 year or so, and gradually his first case came. And whenever a first case comes, we make sure we have a cake cutting ceremony or we distribute sweets for our associates. And then randomly another case came, and then another case came. Now that associate has his own office in Delhi, but he's again associated with us till now. So this is how I feel that I do not want to restrict any newcomer. They have their own life, they have their own family, they have their own perspective of looking into the society. And why should that perspective be limited to my office only? So I will have 10 offices then. It would not be only my single office. So this is the way I function my law firm. And today I'm proud to say that I have associates and juniors from all over India, from Kolkata, from Nagaland, from Haryana, from Delhi, those who can obviously travel to Delhi and want to work. I am open to every sort of work culture, and just because of the reason that everyone should get equal opportunity and they should get that scope of practicing in Delhi. And they should not be held back that I don't have anyone. I do not have anyone in Delhi, where should I go? So this is how I want my law firm to be. Today also, when I see for interns, I make sure that not specifically Delhi, I have students from different parts of states. If they are applying me through email, I'm very proudly welcome that, just because of the reason that they're doing so much hard work that they're finding out the advocates online and then they're applying it. They are not coming to their father's call or through their uncle's call or through someone. So this is how, as an experienced advocate who has seen all the journey, should treat youngsters.
Such a positive and noble gesture that you are imparting on so many people. It is already bringing in a lot of change, and I feel like it will be bringing in a lot more change if everyone whosoever is associated with you expand their services and their purpose. It will be so much influential for social causes as well as the practice itself. So, do you think in doing all of this, has social media contributed in any way, bringing in these kind of changes, bringing in your awareness aspect in front of the society? And how has that helped you establish even more authority and authenticity in your practice?
Let me say that social media and online practices have evolved a lot. When I started, there was no social media. Post-COVID, there was actually the beginning of online virtual hearing. And I do remember that when I was in early phase of my pregnancy, which I had an abortion though, and during that time, I was running to court and I was sweating and I was out of breath. And I felt that I might have to end up my practice here because I can't come for another few months in such a conducive environment where I have to run and reach the court. I have to park my car and have to run, move fast, and my item is about to reach. This is how lawyers are working, very fast, super fast. But then gradually after 2021, by the end of 2021, there was a transformation to virtual hearing. And this empowered mostly females who are having maternity issues, who are having health issues, who are having their young ones and cannot travel that often that a male advocate can. Obviously, they can go to their office for a few hours and then come back home, but they have virtual hearing. If the child is not feeling well, if their husband is not feeling well, if someone in the family is not feeling well, they can take that time which is involved in traveling, and through virtual hearing they can do that. So the litigation has empowered female a lot via virtual hearing, specifically those female who are from the age of 25 to 40 they can establish their litigation, they can have their family, they can have their clients, even a female in one room setup at their home can establish her litigation with a virtual hearing setup. She need not go to chamber, she need not go to office, she need not join another person's office just because she do not have that own setup. So the virtual hearing has increased the participation of women. So I have this data which says that only 15% of the female used to practice when there was no virtual hearing. But after virtual hearing, the participation of females have increased a lot. Now a female doesn't take a break of even 6 months. So virtual hearing has evolved so much that it has empowered the females. When it comes to social media, we see there's so many reels that advocates are making these days. So when I say that while I was starting my practice, I had one case in a month and another 29 days I had nothing to do. I used to call people or talk with my friends or I used to think of it. Now I don't have time. But when I see those youngsters who have just done their law or are into practice, they started developing their social media to that level that now they have thousands, lakhs of followers. And gradually they will get work from that space. So now the client base is not just limited to your near and dear ones. The client base has now changed to social media also. You get a lot of work from social media. And this has empowered those who might not have a circle where they might get a case, but they have that idea where they can deal with artificial intelligence, they can deal with space law, they can deal with environment law, they can deal with sports law, which is not a common practice when it comes to civil or a criminal sort of work. So social media, I guess this is the way how it has impacted.
Thank you so much for bringing in such beautiful aspects, even related to social media or virtual hearing. Yes, you are absolutely right. And everyone is seeing that the women who used to stop their career for a certain time, they are not even taking break, let alone 6 months or 3 months. They just start because they know they can represent their clients even from a work from home format, and there will be no restriction because they can virtually represent them. So while you were talking about all these burning issues, I would say, and they bring in a lot of food for thought, especially for young lawyers who are starting not only their career, but their lives as well. What is your take on maternity leaves, or rather parental leave or paternity leave? How do you see that will bring in more workforce back if one gets ample amount of leave after having a baby?
So this issue was raised by one of the advocates before Honorable High Court of Delhi, and it was observed thereby that advocate is a professional-based services, and therefore there is no need of maternity leaves. But I would like to add on to that it is not just the professional-based services. Rather, for a female who is an independent advocate who is appearing before the courts and having good amount of attendance, the bar should take that criteria in that you are having supposedly 20 appearances in a year and you have to take maternity leave. So the bar should give a stipend of, let's say, 5,000, 10,000, so that she can take care of herself and her baby during that 6 months when she's off from her work. Even the family would not say that you are not getting anything being a lawyer. If you could have got a government job, it would have been a better position. What you are getting for being a lawyer? So in that case, a small support from the bar will help the females to get out of the 6 months phase, and then gradually she can start the practice. But when as a female we see that we do not have any support, even if we are taking leaves, then the gap from going out of career and the line of going out of career starts. So I think maternity for females is important aspect which I think the bar should take that decision, just like they had helped in COVID, providing stipends to those young advocates who were not doing that good and required some basic stipend. Similarly, those females who are not from that well-off family or they need support to establish their career, they can have this 6 months stipend. A specific amount should be decided and they should have an attendance prior of practicing, or they should have an attendance in continuous, so that they are eligible for the maternity leaves or the parental leave, let's say.
So while you were talking about the bar's interference in this particular aspect, like in COVID, you gave example, where do you see the role of bar in lives of lawyers, especially in India? Because every state has a different bar association, then there is Bar Council of India. So do you see difference in between the bar councils that are present in states, and how do they play a role in bringing in, I would say, gender equality? Like you said, law is one of the gender neutral professions. So how do you see they play a role in bringing in this aspect? Because you bring in very burning topics about not having toilets and not having enough backup plan for maternity time, because every woman would like to have that. So all those aspects, where do you see the bar plays their role?
Yes.
Because in international platform, or mostly international bars, they have these amenities built for, especially for bringing in that gender neutrality.
So I think now the bar has also become a very strong, opinionated platform where the lawyers and the youngsters are getting into. Let me tell you, with respect to the Delhi High Court elections, this time there were not more than recorded voters than ever before. So the participation of advocates is increasing. Similarly, the youngsters are coming into the bar elections. So now the perspective of bar has changed a lot. And bar has a very important role to play with respect to the basic amenities, the facilities, the outlook, the perspective of lawyers. What are the challenges the lawyers are facing? It is the bar that takes up. So when it comes to the international community, how they make sure that the facilities are there, the perspective are there, I must tell you, it is the first time that the female reservation in bar came up this time. So the role of bar has evolved because there were no females, so there was no requirement, there was no urge. So we are at a revolutionary stage with respect to bar also. The representation of females have increased. The candidates, you may see there are so many females now coming up. In campaigning, there are so many females involved. So now bar has an important role to play with respect to the basic amenities, the facilities, and now bar is coming online through social media and telling that these are the things we have done in the court. So very interestingly, that I've seen the president of Delhi High Court or the elected bars of Saket Court, let's say Dwarka Court, now they're coming up what they have done. Just on the first day of their bar being elected, they come and say that these are the things that we have done. They are now accountable to lawyers through the social platform also. So that is the reason I'm saying that only bar can take this issue ahead with respect to maternity or paternity leave.
Wow, such amazing perspective and bringing in real-time effects of being not only female lawyer, but a torchbearer of such kind of topics. Since we have already discussed all these things, all the advice that you have given, we would request you to impart some more wisdom and give some golden nuggets for the aspiring law students who want to build such kind of social impactful legal career as you are making, particularly in the kind of fields that you are interested in, that is gender justice, legal policy, public interest litigation, and other social causes which will bring in long-term change.
I would like to say to my young fellows who are now entering into the field or will enter into the field very soon, I have always seen few female advocates and few female judges who had all the things in their life, all the comforts, all the facilities, but they dedicated their life for social work. I might point out few judges which I really admire. Justice Kanta Sharma, she has published so many books. She actually works for the justice of the females. She has worked from Delhi courts to Delhi High Court, and she is now continuously working for the females. Justice Bela Trivedi, she has worked so much for the cause of females. So I would like to say that first you have to empower yourself. If you feel that you want to contribute in the society, the first and the foremost thing is to make sure that you have your hold on your profession. And through your profession, you have to deliver into the society. And this is how all the successful male and females in this field are working on. And secondly, you have to target your career and divide it in 3 years span. First 3 years, you should have a target. Next 3 years, years you should have a target. First 3 years you should have a target that people should know you. After people should know you after 3 years, those people should get back to you. You have to make sure that if there is an advocate, your name should come in their mind. And then comes the golden phase, next 3 years. And you will not know how after 10 years you are into those top 10 lawyers. But you have to make sure as a litigant, it is not a piece of cake that you are entering with lavish gowns, flowing and photographs. This is a very beautiful way to display your profession, but your objective should be clear, your target should be clear that first 3 days, all my people should know that I am an advocate. You should not expect anything else more than that. And once you are an advocate and people are coming back to you, then you are a lawyer. You have established yourself in your field. So this is my message to all the young generation. See what all successful people have done, learn from their mistakes, and then decide how you will be taking your 5 years ahead. And one thing more, as an advocate, when I started, people used to say, it will take you 5 years to establish. I used to say they are very slow people. They don't know how to establish themselves. But when I came in this field, I understood why they used to say 5 years. It is not that you won't get work till 5 years. You will get work. The pace of the work will be very slow. You will have to go through a lot of patience, and then things will fall into place.
It has been such humbling and enriching experience today to interview Advocate Niyati Sharma. And thank you so much for being here and carving out this much time and enlightening us with such thought-provoking ideas. And they are the reality of our social system. We need to be aware of them and we need to be fighting for them as well. Thank you for bringing in the gender-neutral perspective of law. It's amazing to know you. It's amazing to interview you. Absolute fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure to be here.